people when they look at YouTube?
Okay.
Sorry.
So our freshman record from 2016 is 155.08 in the medley relay.
Okay.
And 145.07. And that was from the very first year of Skyline swimming. They did that at the state meet.
Okay.
And we only had freshmen.
Excellent.
Write that down because that's my only copy. I need to keep that.
Oh, okay. Everybody in the broadcast, hold on for me for just one moment. Perfect.
All right,
Thank you. Okay, everybody, sorry for the delay there. Welcome to the stream. We're coming live from the Bird Bath at Ann Arbor Skyline High School. There's going to be a non-conference matchup between Ann Arbor Skyline and the Bloomfield Hills Cranbrook Cranes. Tonight's meet, obviously, a lot of girls trying to qualify for some state cuts in the last event. There'll be a few to focus on for Skyline. Skyline is this year a D2 school, and we'll be using D2 state cut times, which you'll see displayed on your screen. Cranbrook is a Division III school, and we'll use the Division III state cut times. If there's anybody from Cranbrook listening in, watching, we remind you that we do put a timer on the screen, but it is not an official timer. The timers we are there as a courtesy, so you can get an idea how your swimmer is doing, and we let it run all the way through the last swimmer, so you can see a time no matter when your swimmer places. However, again, those times aren't official. I will do my best to read off the times from the scoreboard as they finish. And once again, as I go through them, the data comes at us quickly, and that's not always accurate. So, as always, be sure to check Meet Mobile to make sure that you get the official times for all the races and all the swimmers. So, you can hear the cheers going on. They're still working on the cheers. Shortly after that, we'll be getting to the national anthem. I believe they'll probably be setting up to sing, and we'll bring that to you, and then we'll get the swimming going. So thanks for joining the stream, and sit tight for just a few minutes while we get things started.
Good evening and welcome to Skyline High School, home of the Bird Bath. We are serving live to you throughout North America for this final home meet of the season. Tonight, we would like to welcome the Arbors from Cranbrook. The Arbors are coached by Paul Ellis and Alexa Wessner, Carly Saval, the captains of the Arbors are Gwen Woodbury, Charlotte Weinstein, Hallie O, and Jordan Fox. And those Skyline Eagles are coached by Mojo, with assistance from Paul Burton and Don Rochegan. Your Eagle captains this evening are Ella and Shakespeare, Peyton Morgan, Lawrence Sloan, Allie Rivera,
The Star Spangled Banner has been sung all season long by Claire Cosma, Ali Guevara, and Lauren Sloan. I don't know how much you could hear that during the broadcast, but they've done an awesome job all season long. So congratulations to those young ladies. We are getting ready for the first heat of the event, which, as always, is the 200-yard medley relay. We have a special team here. The A team is all freshmen trying to compete for the freshman record. But the lane assignments, the bottom lanes, always run through 4, always belong to the visitors this year, which is Cranbrook, and the top 4 are Skyline. So the lane assignments are as follows. I have a team listed in lane 2, but I don't see anyone lining up in lane 2, so I'm going to skip that one. Lane 3, the B team from Cranbrook of Brandemart, Fox, Farner, and Mast. In lane 4, the A team from Cranbrook of Murdoch, Howe, Woodbury, and Trunsky. In lane 5, the all-freshman team from Skyline of Lee, Sophia Nielsen, Kim, and Deininger. In lane 6, the B team, Guevara, Rowley, McNeil, and Sadler. In lane 7, the C team of Cho, Miranda Nielsen, Eric Assauld, Andrew Vaughn. And in lane 8, the D team of Sawyer, Dawson, Enrique Shakespeare, and Maza. The finals of the 200-yard medley relay is in the water. Lane 2 did get in the water for Cranbrook. That team is Shapiro, Ratzi, Motti, and Taylor. We just couldn't see them lining up behind the block, so we weren't sure they were going to swim. But they're there. At the first exchange, it's going to be the Cranbrook A team, followed by the Skyline A team and the Skyline B team. At the midway point, the standings will hold Cranbrook A by about a body length, followed by Skyline A. Skyline B comes to the wall, and Skyline C just touches ahead of Cranbrook B. With 100 yards left, Cranbrook will have stretched out a lead. The Cranbrook A team, maybe 2.5 body lengths. The Skyline A team second. Skyline C, or B rather, touches third, but almost a dead heat between the Skyline C and the Cranbrook B team for the 4th spot. Taking the heat will be Cranbrook A with a time of 1:49.71. Second place will go to Skyline B with a time of 1:54.6. Skyline A with a time of 1:54.16. Third place goes to the Skyline B team, 2:00.01. Fourth place, the Skyline B team, 2:00.69. I think I said that wrong. The third place is the Cranbrook B team, 2:00.01. Fifth place, the Skyline C team with a time of 2:01 even. And 6th place will go to Skyline D with a time of 2:10.76. And the notes that I have says that the Skyline A freshman did set a new freshman record. The old time was 1:55.08, and their new time was 1:54.16. Congratulations to the freshmen of Skyline. Rounding out the heat was the Cranbrook C team with a time of 2:34.13. So the swimmers are entering the water for this standard cool down period this season with the extra COVID precautions in place. But that will bring us to the 200-yard freestyle. We'll have 2 heats in the 200-yard freestyle. The first heat will have just 4 swimmers in it. So we'll wait just a moment to get a little closer to the event and read off those lane assignments. Okay. In the first heat of the 200-yard freestyle, in lane 3, swimming for Cranbrook in lane 3, Juliana Jellick. In lane 4, Lauren Park. For Skyline in lane 5, Gracie Maza, and in lane 6, Sophia Mars.
We will have a 5-minute break.
Yeah, I think the sheet just chopped off. I don't think Graciela goes by Gracie. That's what's printed on the sheet here. I think it's just how it chopped it off on the name. That was Graciela Marza in lane 5. A little bit of an extended cool down here. I'm not sure what we have going on. Usually they just do a couple laps and then they're out of the pool. But we'll see what happens. Give them a moment or two more to cool down, and we'll get the next race underway. Just a couple more swimmers to clear the pool for the cool down. And we can get things back underway. The swim officials calling for the clearing of the pool. And again, just to remind you of the lane assignment, since it's been a little bit, from the bottom of the pool to the top is Jellick for Cranbrook, Park for Cranbrook, Maza from Skyline, and Mars from Skyline. Lanes 3, 4, 5, and 6. Lane 1 at the bottom of your screen, lane 8 at the top of your screen. And the first heat of the 200-yard free is on the blocks. At the midway point, it's going to be Jellick from Cranbrook, followed by Mazza from Skyline and Mars from Skyline. Park rounding fourth. Juliana Jellick leading comfortably. That wasn't the midway point. Sorry, it's the first 50. Now it's the midway point. Leading comfortably at the midway point, followed by Graciela Mazza from Skyline. Holding third, Sophia Mars from Skyline. Half a body length behind is Lauren Park from Cranbrook. With 50 to go, Juliana Jellick is in control of the heat. And Graciela Mazza comfortably holds second. Still a tight race for third, with Sophia Mars just a couple strokes ahead of Lauren Park. Taking the heat will be Juliana Jellick with a time of 2:01.49. Finishing in second will be Graciela Mazza from Skyline with a time of 2:15.65. Very close, coming to the wall, and I think Cranbrook, Sophia Mars, so close. I wonder if they're going to check the time. Be sure to check Meet Mobile on that one because it looked reversed. The time, the scoreboard says Lauren Park, yes, that's right, from Cranbrook with a time of 2:23.94, finished third. Sophia Mars from Skyline, 2:24.45. Yes, just less, half a second even, just about separating third and fourth. Oh, and we weren't really expecting this being in the second heat, but congratulations to Juliana Jellick from Cranbrook. She just accomplished a state cut time. I don't know if she had one already, but if not, or in either event, congratulations, Juliana. You're going to states in the 200 free. That'll bring us to our final heat of the 200 free. Starting with lane assignments from the bottom of the screen in lane 1, and swimming for Cranbrook is Emily Zhang. In lane 2, Cha DeSantos. Lane 3, Alia O'Donnell. And lane 4, Just Murdoch. Don't know if that's cut off or not, but it's J-U-S-T is what's on my sheet. Justine Murdoch. For Skyline in lane 5, Lily Cleason. Lane 6, Clara Kozma. Lane 7, Lauren Sloan. Lane 8, Marin Husel. The finals of the 200-yard free is on the blocks. There are two swimmers in the center of the pool, starting off in a backstroke. And I didn't get an advance warning on this, but I presume the reason they've started on a backstroke is that they are trying to get a state cut qualifying split time for the backstroke. But we'll see if they keep swimming the whole thing on the back. It's a tight heat. 4 swimmers, 3 from Cranbrook, 1 from Skyline, touching first at almost the same time. That would be Zhang DeSantos and O'Donnell from Skyline, followed by, I shouldn't say followed because it may not be, Claire Kozma from Skyline was about turning at the same time. Lanes 4 and 5 still swimming the backstroke. After 100, it's going to be Kozma from Skyline in first place, followed by Zhang from Cranbrook in second place. It's very tight for third place between DeSantos and O'Donnell from Cranbrook for third. Cosma still holds with 50 yards left, but it's a three-way heat between Lily Cleason, who's managing to keep up doing the backstroke, I believe, and Zhang and O'Donnell from Cranbrook. Taking the heat will be Claire Cosma with a time of 158.72. Taking second is Lily Cleason doing the backstroke the whole way with a time of 2:01.55. Third, Allison O'Donnell with a time of 2:01.97. I'm sorry. Yes, that's right. Fourth goes to Emily Zhang with a time of 2:03.51. Fifth goes to Charlotte DeSantos, a time of 2:04.54. Sixth goes to Justine Murdoch with a time of 2:04.94. Seventh goes to Lauren Sloan with a time of 2:07.81. And rounding out the heat is Marin Husel with a time of 2:10.18. Pretty impressive with Murdoch from Cranbrook and Cleason both swimming those heats entirely in the backstroke. That moves us on to the 200-yard individual medley. There'll be one heat, just the finals. Starting at the bottom of the screen, swimming for Cranbrook in lane 1, Catherine Strain. In lane 2, Sabrina, I should read up there probably, Sabrina Marcus. In lane 3, Erin McLaughlin. Lane 4, Serena Howe. Swimming for Skyline in lane 5, Shannon Lee. Lane 6, Sophia Nielsen. Lane 7, Allie Deininger. And lane 8, Lauren McNeil. The 200-yard IM is on the blocks. And after the fly, it's going to be Serena Howe in first place for Cranbrook. Very tight for second. No clear advantage on second. But second was extremely close between Strain and McNeil held third after the fly. After the backstroke, it will still be Howe from Cranbrook. Touching second, almost a dead heat, is going to be Lee from Skyline, followed by McLaughlin from Cranbrook. Lee from Skyline and McLaughlin from Cranbrook, almost in a dead heat. Only 13/100ths of a second apart. Howe from Cranbrook about a body's length lead over Sophia Nielsen from Skyline. The third touch is going to go to Shannon Lee from Skyline, just a half a stroke ahead of Erin McLaughlin from Cranbrook. Coming home in the free, it's going to be Serena Howe from Cranbrook holding on. Sophia Nielsen is closing distance, but Serena Howe takes the heat with a time at 2:17:26. Second goes to Sophia Nielsen with a time at 2:18:66. Third, Erin McLaughlin with a time at 2:23:71. Fourth, Shannon Lee, a time at 2:24:45. Fifth goes to Allie Deininger with a time at 2:25:36. Sixth place goes to Lauren McNeil with a time at 2:26:42. Seventh goes to Sabrina Mackis from Cranbrook with a time at 2:28:46. And eighth, rounding out the heat, goes to Catherine Strain with a time at 2:35:59. The next event on the docket is event number 4, the 50-yard freestyle. There'll be 2 heats in this 50-yard freestyle. In the first heat, swimming for Cranbrook, and lanes 1 through 4 at the bottom of the screen, are Kathleen Brandemart in lane 1, lane 2, Molly Ratzi, lane 3, Isabel Ellie, lane 4, for Skyline, Olivia Andrew Vaughn. No, there is no lane 4. There is no lane 4. Lane 5 is Olivia Andrew Vaughn. Lane 6, Jory Cho. Lane 7, Miranda Nielsen. And lane 8, Sydney Sawyer. First heat of the 50-yard free is on the blocks. This looks like it's going to be a pretty close heat at the end. Isabella Ellie for Cranbrook looks like she has a slight advantage, and she does take the heat with a time of 27:55. Second goes to Olivia Andrew Vaughn with a time of 27:85, and third goes to Jory Cho from Skyline with a time of 29:18. Fourth goes to Kathleen Brandemart with a time of 28:99. Fifth, Miranda Nielsen with a time of 29:18. Sixth, Sydney Sawyer, 30.1. Seventh goes to Molly Ratzi with a time of 30.95. In the final heat of the 50-yard free, Cranbrook has 3 swimmers again. This time my sheet says lane 1 is supposed to be empty, but I see a swimmer stepping up on the blocks on lane 1. But the lane assignments we have are as follows. Jordan Fox in lane 2 for Cranbrook, and Carolyn Farner for lane 3 for Cranbrook. Gwen Woodbury in lane 4 for Cranbrook. Swimming for Skyline in lane 5, Erica Sald. Lane 6, Ali Guevara. Lane 7, Addison Kim. And lane 8, Johanna Horvath. So lane 2 is empty. Oh, no, they're going to have, Jordan was just on the wrong spot. Jordan was on lane 1, and she's now moving over to lane 2. So it will be Jordan Fox in lane 2, and lane 1 will be empty. The finals of the 50 free is on the block. And taking the heat will be Gwen Woodbury from Cranbrook with a time of 24:41. Second will go to Erica Sald with a time of 25:79. Third will go to Carolyn Farner from Cranbrook, 26:09. Fourth, Jordan Fox from Cranbrook, 26:35. Fifth goes to Ali Guevara with a time of 26:69 from Skyline. Seventh, Addison Kim from Skyline with a time of 26:87. And seventh goes to Johanna Horvath from Skyline with a time of 28.16. This next section would be where we would have the 1 meter diving. However, the diving meet was held at 4 o'clock today. And I think that was in part just to shorten this meet and to get it out of the way. Cranbrook apparently does not have any women's divers for the women's dive team. So it's still to register the competition. The Skyline divers, 3 Skyline divers, competed in a meet. First place in the diving today went to Peyton Horning from Skyline. Second place went to Jill Vikovicius. And third place went to Sarita Gankin. However, Sarita is one of our new swimmers, and congratulations to her. She bested her top score by over 13 points. So great improvements for the new diver, Sarita. Congratulations to all the divers. It was a lot of fun to watch. They were doing some of their more challenging dives to practice the things that will get them bonus points with a higher degree of difficulty. What that means for this broadcast, however, is that as they've done it before, I do not think they're going to go straight into the next racing because swimmers count on that diving period for a recovery time. So I think they are going to pause the meet, just let time go by, let swimmers recover before we pick up with the next heat, which would be the 100-yard butterfly. So sit tight. If there's no activity, that's probably what's going on. And we'll get back to swimming as soon as they're ready. I've just overheard the swim official saying that racing is going to start at 6:37. It is 6:29 in the pool right now. I know there's a little bit of a lag in the stream. So basically what that means is 8 minutes from now, we should resume swimming. If you're just joining in, this is the diving break. We don't have any diving tonight because it was completed earlier. We've got 5 more minutes until the swimming resumes with the 100-yard butterfly. So I think we figured something out. If anybody is listening, just to fill up some time here while we're waiting for swimming to resume, the unusual activity of the backstroke. We had 2 swimmers swimming the backstroke in the 200-yard, I think it was the 200-yard freestyle, which of course is perfectly legal because it is freestyle. However, we were wondering why they were doing it, and I think that the reason that the swimmers were doing it, Lily Cleason was doing it, was she was trying to get a time that would help her with at Swim USA, a national, or USA Swim maybe. I'm not familiar with the group, but I think she was doing that to record a good time in backstroke, even though it was the freestyle. And it appears she did pretty well, finishing second, I think it was, in the freestyle, swimming the backstroke the whole way. We'll see Lily again in the 100-yard backstroke in Heat 10. Should have just 2 more minutes until we start swimming, or maybe a little less. The pool announcer already gave a 2-minute warning. We're just Googling online, so we may or may not have this right, but we think that possibly there's a USA virtual competition that goes on to get qualifying times for and things like that, and it might have been part of that. At any rate, the swimmers have gathered for the 100-yard fly. There will be 1 heat. The lane assignments from the bottom of the screen to the top. Lane 1 for all the swimmers for Cranbrook in lane 1, Sabrina Marcus. In lane 2, Charlotte Trunsky. In lane 3, Juliana Jellick. And lane 4, Justine Murdoch. Swimming for Skyline in lane 5, Shannon Lee. Lane 6, Addison Kim. Lane 7, Allie Dininger. And lane 8, Johanna Horvath. The 100-yard front fly is on the blocks. At the midway point, it's going to be Murdoch for Cranbrook, followed by Jellick from Cranbrook. 3 Skyline swimmers touching evenly. Lee, Kim, and Dininger all very close for third place. Oh, I take it back. I was hiding behind a bar here. It looks like Charlotte Trunsky from Cranbrook may be holding the third place spot. The heat will go to Justin Murdoch from Cranbrook with a time of 59.74. Second will go to Juliana Jellick with a time of 102.01. Touching third will be Charlotte Trunsky from Cranbrook with a time of 105.45. Fourth, Allie Dininger with a time of 106.05. Fifth, Shannon Lee with a time of 106.88. Sixth is showing Sabrina Marcus with a time of 107.93. Seventh, Johanna Horvath with a time of 108.09. And it's showing eighth, but I don't think they got a good pad touch. Addison Kim with a time of 122.99. But I don't think that was Addison's actual finishing place. It's tough to watch when the pads don't work, so this is one of those cases you should definitely check Meet Mobile for the actual finishing times and orders. Moving on to the 100-yard freestyle. In lane 1 for Cranbrook, Isabella Taylor. Lane 2, Meredith Shapiro. Lane 3, Kathleen Brandemart. Lane 4, Lauren Park. Swimming for Skyline in lane 5, Olivia Andrew Vaughn. Lane 6, Jory Cho. Lane 7, Sky Rowley. And lane 8, Ava Dawson. Lanes 1 through 1 at the bottom of the screen, 8 at the top. The bottom lanes 1 through 4 belong to Cranbrook, and the top lanes 5 through 8 belong to Skyline. The 100-yard freestyle is on the blocks. At the midway point, it's going to be very close between Andrew Vaughn and Cho for the first place position. Cho just out touching Andrew Vaughn by 0.12 of a second. Looks as though Sky Rowley might have a hold on third. Very close to the finish. Who's going to get there first? Olivia Andrew Vaughn out-touches Jory Cho. Olivia's time, 1:00.65. Jory Cho, 1:00.86. Very close. Third goes to Sky Rowley from Skyline, 102.39. Fourth to Ava Dawson from Skyline, 103.76. Fifth will be Kathleen Brandemart from Cranbrook with a time of 104.01. Fifth, Kathleen Brandemart. I'm sorry, something churned on the board there. Fourth is Ava Dawson, Skyline, 103.76. Fifth, Kathleen Brandemart, 104.01. Seventh, Meredith Shapiro, 117.35. And eighth, Isabella Taylor, 120.62. And that will bring us to the finals of the 100-yard freestyle. For Cranbrook in lane 1, we're going to have they've got these Kier Shannon. Lane 2, there we go, they updated the board. Emily Zhang. Lane 3, Carolyn Farner. Lane 4, Ella Mast. Swimming for Skyline in lane 5, Erica Sald. Lane 6, Ali Guevara. Lane 7, Lauren Sloan. And lane 8, Sophia Mars. The finals of the 100-yard free is on the blocks. At the midway point, it's going to be Mast from Cranbrook, followed by Sald from Skyline and Guevara from Skyline. Almost even with Guevara is Farner from Cranbrook. Taking the heat will be Elia Mast from Cranbrook with a time of 55.96. Second's going to go to Erica Sald from Skyline with a time of 56.53. Third will go to Carolyn Farner from Cranbrook with a time of 56.82. Fourth will be Emily Zhang from Cranbrook with a time of 57.32. Fifth, Ali Guevara from Skyline, a time of 57.51. Sixth, Lauren Sloan from Skyline with a time of 58.89. Seventh will go to Kier Shannon with a time of 1:00.32. And rounding out the heat will be Sophia Mars from Skyline with a time of 1:05.68. Moving on to event number 8, the 500-yard freestyle. Only 6 swimmers in this event. Swimming for Cranbrook in the bottom lanes, but starting in lane 2, Catherine Strain. Lane 3, Allison O'Donnell, and lane 4, Gwen Woodbury. Swimming for Skyline in lane 5, Ella Enrique Shakespeare. Lane 6, Marin Husel, and lane 7, Graciela Maza. The 500-yard freestyles is on the blocks. After the first 100, it's going to be Woodbury from Cranbrook holding first, followed by O'Donnell from Cranberry. The third touch will be Enrique Shakespeare from Skyline. And fourth will be Maren Husel from Skyline. Holding fifth place, Catherine Strain from Cranbrook. And sixth place, Garciela Maza from Skyline. After 200, Woodbury has a comfortable lead. In second place will still be O'Donnell from Cranbrook with about a 3-stroke lead over Enrique Shakespeare in third. Making the turn fourth will be Maren Husel from Skyline. Catherine Strain from Cranbrook will touch fifth, just a split second ahead of Graciela Maza from Skyline in sixth. At 300 yards, Gren Woodbury has stretched out a significant lead. The race for second and third still belongs to Allison O'Donnell from Cranbrook, just a couple strokes ahead of Ella Enrique Shakespeare from Skyline. And with 100 yards to go, Woodbury still has almost a full pool length lead over the second and third position, which is seemingly the race. O'Donnell and Enrique Shakespeare holding very close to one another. O'Donnell still just maybe 1 to 2 strokes ahead of Enrique Shakespeare. Woodbury will take the bell lap. O'Donnell holding second and has maybe gained a stroke or two on Enrique Shakespeare. Gwen Woodbury from Cranbrook will take the heat with a time of 5:08.84. Allison O'Donnell digging hard to the wall will in fact hold on to second place. Allison with a time of 5:25.09, followed by Ella Enrique Shakespeare in third with a time of 5:27.36. Fourth place is going to go to Maren Husel from Skyline with a time of 5:55.29. Touching sixth will be Graciela Maza with a time of 6:03.32. And rounding out the heat for Cranbrook will be Catherine Strain with a time of 6:18:48. That will bring us to the 200-yard freestyle relay. Swimming in the lower lanes for Cranbrook. In lane 2, the Cranbrook C team of Shannon, Brandemart, Park, and Marcus. In lane 3, the B team of Jellick, O'Donnell, Zhang, and Strain. And in lane 4, the A team of McLaughlin, Mast, Trunsky, and DeSantos. Swimming for Skyline in lane A, that freshman relay team again of Kim, Deininger, Horvath, and Lee, trying to set another freshman record for Skyline. In lane 6, the B team of Sald, Sadler, Cleveland, and Rowley. And in lane 7, the C team of Sloan, McNeil, Mars, and Husel. The finals of the 200-yard freestyle relay are on the block. It's going to be very close at the first exchange. 4 across, Skyline AB and Cranbrook AB. And the B teams almost touch evenly for each school in the first 2 spots. At the second exchange, it's going to be very close between Skyline A and Cranbrook B. It looks like Skyline A just touching ahead of Cranbrook B by a half a second or so. Very, very close with 50 yards to go. Cranbrook A and B in almost a dead heat, and actually Skyline B right there with them. Can't be more than a half a second separating all 3 of those teams. And digging down the home stretch for the wall, it looks like Cranbrook A is developing a little bit of a lead. And maybe Skyline A will touch second. Let's see. The heat does go to Cranbrook A with a time of 1:44.26, and second does go to Skyline A with a time of 1:44.73. Third, Cranbrook B, 1:45.04. Fourth, Skyline B, 1:45.80. Fifth goes to Skyline C with a time of 1:51.30, and sixth goes to Cranbrook C with a time of 1:57.27. And looking at that Skyline A team, the freshman team, had a score of 1:44.26, which does beat the old freshman record, all freshman record of 1:45.07. So 2 new records set for freshman swimmers in the Skyline program. Congratulations, ladies. Event 10, the 100-yard backstroke is next up. One heat in the 100-yard backstroke. The lane assignments are as follows. In lane 1 is Shani Mahdi. Lane 2, Meredith Shapiro. Lane 3 will be empty. Lane 4, Serena Howe. All those swimmers from Cranbrook. In lane 5 for Skyline, Ava Dawson. Lane 6, Jasmine Gillette. Lane 7's Jayla Fields. And lane 8, Simone Chin. Lane 1 at the bottom, lane 8 at the top. It's the finals of the 100-yard backstroke is in the water. I had originally commented that Lily Cleason would be swimming in this heat because she was the one that did the 200-yard freestyle in the backstroke. But she is not in this heat, so I don't know if she chose to scratch or there was some late changes, but Lily's not swimming this heat. At the midway point, it's going to be Howe from Cranbrook, followed by Dawson from Skyline. Touching third will be Meredith Shapiro from Cranbrook. And the heat will go to Serena Howe from Cranbrook with a time of 105.02. Second place is going to go to Ava Dawson from Skyline with a time of 113.89. Third place will be in the hands of Meredith Shapiro from Cranbrook with a time of 127.11. Fourth is Shani Mahdi from Cranbrook, a time of 131.94. Very close for fifth and sixth. Who touches first? Simone Chin from Skyline with a time of 139.50 in fifth. And the time for, I guess that has to be Jasmine Gillette, didn't register. 139. Oh, it's a dead heat. That's why. A dead heat between Simone Chin and Jasmine Gillette for fifth, which means Jayla Fields would take seventh with a time of 154.40. Getting down to our last couple of events of the evening. Event 11 is the 100-yard breaststroke. Lane assignments for the breaststroke. In lane 1 for Cranbrook, Molly Ratsey. Lane 2, Isabel Ellie. Lane 3, they haven't updated the board yet, so I'm reading off the sheet, and I've just got CHA DeSantos. I know that's a longer name, and I can't remember what it was, but they're not showing it to me yet. Lane 4, Jordan Fox from Cranbrook. Lane 5, Miranda Nielsen. Lane 6, Claire Cosma. Lane 7, Lily Cleason. And lane 8, Sky Rowley. They've updated the board. Charlotte DeSantos in lane 3 from Cranbrook. Sorry, Charlotte. We do our best with the visitors' names. Best wishes to everybody over at Cranbrook, and apologies for any names I mispronounce. Again, the lane assignments from bottom to top: Ratsey, Ellie, DeSantos, Fox, Nielsen, Cosma, Cleason, and Rowley. The finals of the 100-yard breaststroke are on the blocks. At the midway point, it is going to be Jordan Fox from Cranbrook making the turn first. Charlotte DeSantos and Miranda Nielsen from Skyline in a very close race for second. And taking the heat for Cranbrook will be Jordan Fox with a time of 111.4. Lane 2, Miranda Nielsen with a time of, or second place, Miranda Nielsen with a time of 114.37. Third place, Charlotte DeSantos with a time of 114.39. Fourth place, Claire Cosmo with a time of 116.54. Fifth, Isabel Ellie from Cranbrook, 118.88. Sixth, Sky Rowley from Skyline, 119.89. Seventh goes to Lily Cleason from Skyline, 121.29. And rounding out the heat is Molly Rotzi from Cranbrook with a time of 126.15. There was a lot of cheering there. I'm going to guess that did Jordan Fox get a state cut on that. Congratulations to Jordan for the state cut in the 100. By the way, everybody, the 100 breaststroke, by the way, everybody was cheering. I'm guessing that was her first qualifying time. So congratulations, Jordan. You're going to states in the 100-yard breaststroke. And this brings us to our final event of the evening, which is always the 400-yard relay. We'll have a total of 5 teams in this race. Swimming for Cranbrook, their C team in lane 2 of Marcus, Taylor, Motti, and Ellie. In lane 3, their B team of McLaughlin, Farner, Zhang, and Shannon. In lane 4, their A team of O'Donnell, Trensky, Mast, and Woodbury. Swimming for Skyline in lane 5, the A team of Guevara, Enrique Shakespeare, Sadler, and Cosma. And in lane 6, the B team of Horvath, Sloan, Husel, and Cho. The finals of the 400-yard freestyle relay are on the blocks. Oh. It appears we're going to have a late entry for Cranbrook. Oh, no, not a late entry. It's just lane 2. Lane 2 was not ready and on the blocks. The C team from Cranbrook. They are now, so we should be ready to start. At the first exchange, it's going to be Cranbrook A, followed by Skyline A and Cranbrook B. Not the first exchange, sorry, this is the 400. So, of course, they've got 2 full cycles of the pool, each swimmer. So no exchange there. My apologies. Now we're approaching the first exchange, and it's going to be Cranbrook A just touching ahead of Skyline A. Cranbrook B about body length behind, and then Skyline B and Cranbrook C in almost a dead heat for the 4th spot. In this second set of swimmers, the Cranbrook B team has made tremendous gains and charging hard. They might actually get to the exchange first. It looks like they will. It will be Cranbrook B touching just a split second ahead of Cranbrook A, followed by Skyline A, and then Skyline B. Cranbrook A regaining a very slight lead over Cranbrook B. Skyline C still about half a body length behind. Quite a battle between the Cranbrook teams. It's going to be B and A. No, A and B. A just out-touched B for Cranbrook at the exchange. Skyline A, about a second behind that. Skyline B comfortably in the 4th position. And in the anchor leg, the Skyline A team has pulled a little bit ahead. The Cranbrook A team pulled a little ahead. The Skyline A team has made significant links and should finish second. Cranbrook A touches first with a time of 3:45.64, followed by Skyline A with a time of 3:48.20. Cranbrook B finishes third with 3:53.25. And the Skyline B team will touch fourth with a time of 4:03.15. And rounding out tonight's swim meet will be the Cranbrook C team with a time of 4:10.35. Oh, wait a minute. I've got one swimmer hidden way down here. We've got this bar in front of me that keeps obscuring lanes, so I miss swimmers, but we've got one more set of swimmers on the course. Although I don't quite, they've given it just by default. They've got it listed. That's why we thought the 5th team, it just wasn't their. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you on this, and the reason we got thrown off is that the Cranbrook C team finished third, but the time was stopped a full length earlier. So they did finish 5th. Their time is not 4:10.35, something slower than that. So as always, check Meet Mobile to find out what the actual results and scores are and the finishing orders. Thanks very much for joining the stream. I imagine many of you will click off quickly here. We'll leave the stream up for a few moments to see if they do post the team scores, and if they do, we'll pass them along if they come within the next couple of minutes. They did SCCs and they filled out, so. I meant they put up the final scores. That SCCs and the other swimming before that. So why they do it, which you're right, we won't have to wait for it. Well, so we've been holding here a couple of minutes. It does not appear anyways that they're going to post the scores just very quickly yet, and we'll get wrapping up and letting everybody on their way. So be sure to check Meet Mobile to find the final standings and the scores for the teams. Congratulations to all the swimmers. Good luck to all the swimmers at states. Good luck to Cranbrook and their future events and its states, and safe travels home to the Cranbrook team. Thanks again for watching all year. It's been fun, and we'll see if we get to do this again. Hopefully COVID won't keep us trapped in a situation where we have to keep streaming broadcasts, and you can all get back out here and watch these meets in person. But if we do get called to set up a stream again, I'll be happy to come back. Thanks again, and have a good holiday season.